evening, Auburn family, and welcome to Eagle Eye TV's 2022 Student Government Association Election Callout Show. I'm Ainsley Ehlers.
And I'm Jack Greenwald. Students have been campaigning all week to become Auburn University's next president, vice president, treasurer, Miss Auburn, and other various positions in Auburn's SGA. With the student body voting earlier today, we will find out the results of the election at 10:30 p.m. as they have been postponed from the original time of 10 p.m. The campaigning for those four major candidate positions began earlier this week with a kickoff event on Tuesday afternoon.
This week was a great way to bring in Auburn University's annual SGA campaign kickoff. Students and supporters gathered at the Upper Quad Lawn this past Tuesday to see their 2022 candidates. Excitement and cheers were heard all across the Upper Lawn as they welcomed candidates for president, vice president, treasurer, and for Miss Auburn. True team support between each of the candidates' support system was seen on kickoff day. Even the candidates were seen embracing their supporters shortly after the campaign ended. I even got a chance to ask both SGA vice presidents, Brandon Besser and Coleman Turnipseed, their purpose behind running.
The purpose behind running is my platform. I want to increase transparency, advocacy, and productivity within the Student Senate. I have the legislative knowledge and experience in order to lead the Student Senate right, and I just want to make sure that SGA is advocating for every student.
You're representing your culture, you're representing so many people who want a voice but can't really speak for themselves. What does it mean for you at this time running?
Right. I think it means a lot of different things. I grew up being an Auburn fan my whole life. I'm from Birmingham, so Auburn being a land grant is very near and dear to my heart, being that land grants are supposed to represent the people of their state. And right now, Auburn does have a black population of just under 5%. And so to be able to rise to this level is very important. And it's
On February 4th, the voting polls are open till 7 p.m. on aub.ie/SGA vote. I'm Jakai Spikes, Eagle Eye TV.
Following kickoff, each major candidate filmed campaign videos with Eagle Eye to explain their campaign platforms and why you should vote for them. The three candidates running for president are John David Matthews, Joshua Quattlebaum, and Jake Haston.
Hey y'all, my name is Jake Haston, and I have the honor of running for SGA president this year. My platform centers around four key areas that consist of social advancement, student life, academics, and adapting SGA. I know my time at Auburn has prepared me well to represent you all as SGA president. I've been a member of the Auburn family my whole life, and I've personally been touched by the Auburn spirit. Together, we can make the necessary changes to continue Auburn's historic tradition of excellence. I hope you join me in striving to make the best school in the country even better. War Eagle.
War Eagle, I am John David Matthews, and it is an honor to run to be your next SGA president. On Mark with Matthews is a campaign that uses student feedback to mark goals for Auburn University that capture the spirit of Auburn. We work diligently in three distinct areas: health and well-being, safety and inclusion, and student experience. First, we will meet the mark for health and well-being by creating incentives for students to join organizations and establishing a parking zone at the rec for daytime hours. Next, we will meet the mark for safety and inclusion by starting a Sexual Assault Awareness Week and increasing efforts for a diverse and well-rounded student body. Finally, we will meet the mark for student experience by adding graduate test prep classes and allowing students to transfer their football tickets. My favorite Auburn tradition is the Eagle Flight, and this fall, after 18 years, our Eagle, Spirit, made her historic last flight around Jordan-Hare Stadium. Spirit represents fearlessness and unity to our community, and I will strive to continue her legacy if elected as SGA president. I am well equipped to promote the student's voice and advocate for the best interests of every Auburn student. Thank you, and War Eagle.
War Eagle, Auburn family. My name is Joshua Quattlebaum, and it is my honor to share my love and vision for Auburn with you. Auburn was built on hard work and passion, and those two principles are how Auburn men and women have managed to accomplish anything they set their heart out to do. Whether that be going into space, winning an Olympic gold medal, or even representing the American people in Washington. Hard work and passion are at the heart of this campaign because that is what is at the heart of Auburn. My campaign, Full Throttle with Quaddle, is a campaign that strives to put in the hard work to serve all students and push Auburn into an even brighter future. As it says in the Auburn Creed, I believe in work, hard work. The campaign will embody that. As your SGA president, I would target campus life, communications, and initiatives. Some of my goals include creating a student leadership resource team, an SGA, to help newer, smaller organizations, working closer with Tiger Dining and Tiger Transit to provide students with an even better experience, creating open office hours for SGA execs so that more students can be heard, and the creation of a campus-wide wellness event to promote positive health. I hope that on February 4th, you all go full throttle with Quaddle and let me put in the hard work for my Auburn family.
Over the past few days, Eagle Eye TV ran polls on the four major candidates positions: president, vice president, treasurer, and Miss Auburn. To be clear, these results are just from our network's poll. They are not the actual results of the election. We will not have the official results until later in the evening. Looking at our polls, a majority of Eagle Eye's audience is in favor of Jake Haston, who holds 82% of the vote, while John David Matthews trails behind with 12%, and Josh Quattlebaum follows with 7%. To reiterate, these are not the official results. This is done from a poll done on the Eagle Eye website. As the night progresses, we will see how true our exit polls hold to the official results. When we return, you'll hear from the vice presidential candidates as we await election results at 10. We'll be right back.
We forgot that. Sorry. Okay. All right. Bye.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye TV's SGA election coverage. Now, let's take a look at the two candidates running for vice president, Coleman Turnipseed and Brendan Belser.
My name is Brandon Belser, and I'm running to be your next SGA Vice President. As we celebrate the 100th year of Auburn's SGA, we don't have to look back far to see how the Auburn family rallies around the shared values, rich history, and diversity of our university to leave it better for those who come after. Bold, Bright Belser is a campaign that aims to create a Senate whose impact will last another 100 years. Whether through a bold plan to support our military veteran students, bright action for a Senate that advocates for every student, undergraduate, graduate, and professional, I plan to use the skill sets I've developed serving Auburn for the past 3 years and the legislation and initiatives I came up with as a senator to leave an Auburn worthy of the future. On February 4th, I hope you'll be bold, bright, Belser. War Eagle.
War Eagle. My name is Coleman Turnipseed. I'm a junior here at Auburn from Mobile, Alabama, majoring in political science. I'm here today because I have the opportunity to run to be your next vice president of SGA. I've been involved in SGA since stepping foot on Auburn's campus. When my freshman year, I was given the opportunity to join SGA's lobby board. Throughout my time at SGA, I've had the opportunity to be a part of both cabinet and the student senate. My sophomore year, I was able to serve on cabinet as a director of media, and this past year, I had the opportunity to serve on the SGA student senate as a senator at large. My platform, Meet the Need with Turnipseed, focuses on meeting students where they are and advocating for the issues and problems that plague each individual person. I plan to do this by focusing on advocacy, transparency, and productivity within SGA. As Vice President of SGA, I promise to never make promises that I can't keep, to devote my full attention and effort to this position, and to always keep all of you first in mind with any decision I make. And with that being said, I hope all of you will join us in Meeting the Need with Turnipseed.
Now that we have heard from our candidates, let's take a look at the voting results from the Eagle Eye exit poll. It seems to be that Coleman Turnipseed is leading with a landslide percentage of 95, while Brandon Belser holds steady with 5% of the poll. Now, once again, these results are not the official election results. These are from the Eagle Eye website's polling. It will be interesting to see how these dramatic numbers compare with the official results later tonight. Over the past week, candidates and their teams have been campaigning all across Auburn's campus, trying to win over voters. Eagle Eye spoke with Auburn students to see who they were voting for.
This week, SGA candidates lined up down Haley Concourse.
Meet the Need with Turnipseed!
Following the SGA campaign kickoff Tuesday, candidates began campaigning before Friday's election.
I feel like Haley's the heart of campus. It's so fun to see everyone, going from class to class. So I just love seeing everyone, no matter what campaign you're on, and getting to, take a break between classes.
The candidates and their campaign staff passed out hand warmers, buttons, t-shirts, and even roses to passing students.
So I got approached about it, or at least I'll know a candidate's name now to put down on the ballot.
All major SGA candidates were on the concourse for a majority of the day, and some said that they were looking forward to voting.
My favorite part of campaign week is honestly call-outs. It's kind of stressful, I think, to everybody, but it's a time-honored tradition, and, many organizations respect having a Cater Hall call-out because it kind of feels, official, and it's like, a real Auburn tradition.
Winners of the election will be called out at Cater Hall at 10 p.m.
Earlier today, Eagle Eye's Blake Phillips met with the SGA Director of Elections, Kelly Moore, to hear more about her role in the election process.
Hello, my name is Blake Phillips with Eagle Eye TV, and today I'm sitting down with the SGA Director of Elections, Kelly Moore. And Kelly, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? We're so excited. Election season is finally here, and we're just ready to see what happens tonight.
Indeed. Well, I'll start you off with a relatively easy question. Tell us a little bit about yourself with regards to SGA and about your position.
Yeah, so I first became involved with SGA Elections as a freshman. So my mentorship through Freshman Forum was actually with the elections team, and I've been on elections ever since. And this year I get to serve as the director.
All right, and now it has been a very long campaign week. So walk us through everything that goes on from kickoff on Tuesday all the way up until election night.
Yeah, so campaign kickoff Tuesday, that's always such a fun and exciting event. Then later that night, we actually had our major candidate debate, which was so exciting. We got to hear from all of our major candidates, what they want to see happen on campus and their initiatives, so that was fantastic. Then they've campaigned all week, and they're ready to garner votes today.
All right, and last year's election, it's no secret, was very different from typical elections. Will you tell us a little bit about what you learned from last year, seeing that altered election due to COVID-19, and what you applied from that to this year's?
Yeah, so we definitely learned to always have a backup plan and have backup plans for our backup plans. But yeah, I think with COVID and everything, we just learned so much about diligence and how much that election integrity means to this university. So, yeah.
All right, and for underclassmen and younger students, like I've never experienced an actual election as a sophomore here. Walk us through what is so much more different from the COVID election to this year's more regular election.
So there are a lot less limitations to what the candidates can do. Normally you'll see like bow on the concourse or fresh donuts, which we're still not quite there yet because everything has to be individually packaged. But yeah, we're just one step closer to normalcy, and hopefully next year it'll be full steam ahead.
All right, hopefully so. And now shifting focus more on the regular election, what do you do as the Director of Elections to ensure fairness for all the candidates?
Yeah, so as Director of Elections, I'm over e-council, which we're really just walking alongside the candidates just throughout the entire process, answering any questions that they have, and just, being really equitable throughout the entire process, making sure they understand the rules so they don't break the rules, and everything like that.
All right, and what would you give as a piece of advice to students looking to be involved with SGA and even the elections board?
Yeah, so you can do anything. I'm an example of that. I'm from a small town, did not know anyone coming to Auburn, and here I am today as a Director of Elections. So if you truly want to do something at Auburn, just ask questions and don't stop until you have a position.
All right, and going forward to those new members of the elections board, what would you specifically take from this year and your overall experiences with SGA to improve upon the elections process?
Yeah, so I would definitely say just election integrity is at the center of what we do. You go through every single sheet of paper that is submitted to you from the candidates, and as you're going through those binders, that's, not always a fun process, but you just have to keep in the back of your mind, this is for something that is so much bigger than yourself. So keep that drive, keep that motivation.
All right, I like it. And before we conclude this interview, do you have any closing words going into tonight?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say congratulations to every single candidate. You've run such amazing campaigns, and we're so excited to see what happens tonight.
All right, and that concludes our interview with SGA Director of Elections, Kelly Moore. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
And this has been Blake Phillips with Eagle Eye TV.
We'll be back with more coverage on SGA callouts in just a moment. And still ahead, live election results at 10. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader. Welcome back to Eagle Eye TV's SGA election coverage. As we wait for results to be counted, let's hear from Jake Darling, the sole candidate for treasurer.
War Eagle Auburn, my name is Jake Darling, and I'm a junior here at Auburn, majoring in finance. I'm very fortunate to be here today and to have the opportunity of running to be the next SGA treasurer. The past year I've spent within SGA has been some of the most fun I've had during my college experience. I've enjoyed being able to give back to the university that has given and will continue to give to me so much. And I see this as an opportunity to give back to Auburn as well. Dollars with Darling is my chosen platform because I have a passion for finance and financial literacy. I hope to bring knowledge about how to best manage and use your own dollars to the Auburn community and help strengthen financial knowledge amongst the student body. I plan to do this by making our current financial resources more accessible and better promoted. This will include actions such as time spent on the concourse, teaching lessons in certain topics such as how to write a check or the importance of diversification, continuing to promote services like our partnership with Regions Bank, and continue expanding on the AO10 program to help save students more money in their day-to-day lives. I can't wait to learn about Dollars with Darling, and I'm excited to be able to serve the student body.
Being the sole candidate for treasurer means that Jake is our first candidate to be announced and will serve as treasurer for the upcoming year.
While treasurer was an easy race this year, that is not true about the Miss Auburn race. There are 5 people running for this position, which makes it the most crowded race of the night. The 5 candidates are Gracie Grote, Ann Earthman, Renee Washburn, Olivia Balliette, and Kyla Mathner. Let's hear from them now.
War Eagle. My name is Ann Earthman. I'm a junior from Nashville, Tennessee, and I have the absolute privilege of running for Miss Auburn this week. I'm running off of the line of the creed which states, I believe in the human touch, which cultivates sympathy for my fellow man and mutual helpfulness and happiness for all. This line of the creed was so evident to me because through community, the human touch has shaped my time at Auburn. I believe we feel most loved when we are provided with the resources we need to feel empowered and succeed. Therefore, I have chosen to center my platform around the word accessibility. Through emotional accessibility, we will focus on continued mental health initiatives, mentorship programs, and fostering vulnerable conversations. Through physical accessibility, we will highlight the Office of Accessibility in order to draw attention to important initiatives provided for the Auburn family. By empowering each individual's Auburn story, we can encourage members of the Auburn family to step into our community and rely on the human touch. Join me in getting down to Earthman this week and come join us on the concourse to learn more. Thank you.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Gracie Grote. I'm a junior from Fort Payne, Alabama. Throughout this week, I'm so honored to have the opportunity to share my heart behind my platform. In my platform, I present 2 things, a problem and a solution. The problem is mental health. I believe that all of us have either encountered it, overcome it, or possibly are going through a season right now where you need to overcome mental health. The solution I'm presenting is physical activity. So throughout this week and beyond, I want you guys to get to know yourself better and know who you get up for in the morning and who you live your day for. This platform will be presented through 3 initiatives: Go, Grow, and Gather. Go is going into the community that we're blessed to be placed in, on and off campus. Grow is growing within ourselves and understanding who we are and who we get up for. Because truthfully, when we're living our day for something that's bigger than ourselves, we're able to achieve far more than we could have ever imagined. Gather is my last point, and I'm so excited about this point because I'm currently really involved in physical activity and honestly always have been. So Gather is gathering with our Auburn family, arm in arm, and running a 5K together if I was awarded the opportunity to be your next Miss Auburn. Now this 5K would be different than most. You would have a blank bib number and you're able to write in who you're walking for that day or who you're running for, truthfully to represent something bigger than yourself so that you are able to achieve those goals. Thank you so much for this opportunity and I can't wait to see and get to know each of you better.
Hey y'all, my name is Kyla Mathner and I couldn't be more excited and honored to be running for Miss Auburn. Given this opportunity to share a platform, I'm focusing on the line of the creed that says, I believe in a sound mind, in a sound body, and a spirit that is not afraid. This line reminds me of the strength and courage I found at Auburn to seek professional help after struggling with disordered eating for several years. If it weren't for the help of Auburn Student Counseling and Psychological Services, this truly may not have been possible. I'm sharing this personal experience in hopes that I can not only spread awareness and emphasize the importance of the services, but also advocate for the expansion of them. As students, we hear about the importance of mental health and that the university has our backs when it comes to these struggles. But just hearing that and actually feeling supported are 2 different things. My goal is that Auburn students will hear my message loud and clear and will feel confident in my ability to accomplish these goals throughout my campaign and the rest of my time at Auburn. Every member of the Auburn family deserves a substantial chance to seek professional help. I'm honored to share this platform with my peers to the best of my ability, so thank you and War Eagle.
War Eagle Auburn, my name is Olivia Balliette, and I am honored to be one of your candidates for Miss Auburn this year. I'm excited to share my platform, which focuses on the Creed stanza, I believe in the human touch, which cultivates sympathy with my fellow men and mutual helpfulness and brings happiness for all. Mentorship has made all the difference in my time at Auburn because of the opportunities I would not have had without older students who took an active interest in offering me advice and support and encouraging me to get involved. I know for new students coming to campus, learning about all the opportunities available can be overwhelming and getting involved can seem intimidating. In the role of Miss Auburn, I would work to create a platform for underclassmen to connect with older students in areas of campus they're interested in. This mentorship is something that every student can participate in and benefit from, and my hope is to increase the knowledge and accessibility of all on-campus organizations. By living out this Creed value of mutual helpfulness on campus, I know that every member of the Auburn family can help support each other in reaching beyond what is possible on our own.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Renee Washburn, and I'm honored to be one of your top 5 candidates for Miss Auburn. I've always wanted to be an Auburn woman ever since I became my pop's football buddy in kindergarten, so this opportunity has been a dream. My platform is sexual assault awareness, which centers around the human touch stanza in the Auburn Creed. We are focusing on the positive and healing side of the human touch. This can be a hug, listening ear, or conversation. Everyone should feel supported, loved, cared for, and safe in the Auburn family. If anyone were to go through a traumatic situation like a sexual assault, we want to make sure they know the resources available and where they are located for themselves and their friends. Through Campaign Week and beyond, we will focus on creating awareness and support for the amazing existing resources already on campus, while also leading with you in creating new education, resources, and safety procedures. I hope you will lead the way with Renee this year. War Eagle.
Let's see how each of these candidates did in the Miss Auburn poll. Gracie Grote pulls away with 69% of the poll, followed by Anna Earthman, who holds steady at 25%, and Renee Washburn, who rounds out the top 3 with 4%. While Olivia Balliette and Kyla Mathner bring the rear end with their equal and respective 1% of the poll. As we have stated multiple times, these numbers are not the official election results. These are from our polling on the Eagle Eye website. So make sure to keep an eye out and see how our numbers compare to the official results later on this evening. When we come back, we continue our coverage on the 2022 SGA Callouts. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Welcome back to your SGA election coverage. Let's take a look back at the debate from last Tuesday as we wait for election results.
Welcome to the SGA debate. My name is Mary Kate Hillis, and I serve as the Executive Director of Elections for the Student Government Association this year. I want to start off by thanking everyone who made this night possible, from the Melton Student Center reservation staff to the SGA elections team. Thank you for all you do. Over the course of the night, we will hear from the candidates seeking to lead this student body for the next year. Tonight's event will be separated into 2 parts. First, we will hear from our Miss Auburn candidates. The speaking order for all candidates was determined by a random drawing when candidates arrived this evening. Next, we will hear from our major candidates. You will hear from your treasurer, vice president, and presidential candidates as they are asked a series of questions and given the chance to respond. These questions have not been approved by or shared with any campaign. Questions will be directed toward the candidate, who will have 1.5 minutes to answer. Then each remaining candidate will be allowed a 45-second rebuttal. The debate will end with each candidate having the opportunity to give a closing statement. Thank you again for attending, and next I welcome to the stage the debate moderator, this year's SGA President, Rhett Wagner.
Thank you, Mary Kate. War Eagle, guys. My name is Rhett Wagner, and I'm serving as the current student body president. Welcome to the 2022 Student Government Association debate. We're excited you're here, and now please join me in welcoming to the stage your 2021-22 Miss Auburn candidates. Perfect. Now each Miss Auburn candidate will be able to share their platform with us, starting with you.
War Eagle, everyone. My name is Renee Washburn, and I'm honored to be one of your top 5 candidates for Miss Auburn this year. I have wanted to be an Auburn woman ever since I became my pop's football buddy in kindergarten, so the opportunity to represent and share my heart for Auburn in this way is an incredible honor. My platform is sexual assault awareness, which centers around the creed stanza, I believe in the human touch, which cultivates sympathy with my fellow men and mutual helpfulness and brings happiness for all. I want to focus on the positive and healing side of human touch in the Auburn Creed. Everyone needs support and human connection to heal, be successful, and live a fulfilled life. Through my time at Auburn, I have been wonderfully supported, loved, and cared for because of the men and women at this university. I want everyone here to know they are a valuable part of Auburn's history and always have a support system to be their happiest self. Everyone at Auburn should feel as though they can speak out about their trauma, get help, and know they have a support system. I know from personal experience how hard and scary it can be not knowing where you can turn. Everyone should feel supported, loved, and safe in the Auburn family. Auburn should be a safe and secure place for anyone who has the honor to live in our beautiful town. I want to make sure the Auburn family knows what resources are available and where they are located for themselves and their friends, while also preparing students for those hard conversations. Education is a huge component of ensuring students know how to deal with these kinds of sexual assault situations or any difficult situation. Every individual should know what steps to take and where to find help. No one should ever feel they are unsure, alone, or unsupported. This is where the human touch idea is so important. You can be supported in many ways, such as a conversation, a hug, or a listening ear. Every student on campus should feel this type of support when going through any traumatic or difficult situation. Everyone has a different story, experience, and ways of coping. I have many ideas of ways we can better support our community. However, many minds are greater than one, as they bring different perspectives and experiences and ideas that I do not know. Miss Auburn is only one individual, but she supports and represents the student body. This is why I wanted to keep this platform student-focused. Students are the powerhouse of Auburn, therefore they should be our empowered leaders for change. I will lead with and listen to students' experiences in order to create the best solutions for minimizing the amount of sexual assault occurrences. My goal as Miss Auburn is to be the trustworthy individual who serves and works with Auburn University, the Auburn community, and each student. This platform will focus on creating awareness and support for the amazing existing resources already on campus, while also leading with you all in creating new education, resources, and safety procedures. I hope you will lead the way with Renee this year. War Eagle.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Gracie Grote, and truthfully, I'm so honored to just be even on this stage with these wonderful people. I would not be here without the Auburn family, and that includes each of you. Throughout this process, truthfully, my platform started at a young age. I was put in competitive gymnastics and cross country and track, and these sports taught me self-discipline, competitiveness, and determination. This soon made me realize that I needed to set goals in my life throughout high school. These goals led to me remembering quotes each year, and one quote that I hold dear to my heart is that running is 90% mental and 10% physical. And what I soon realized when I arrived on Auburn's campus as a freshman is that life is also 90% mental and 10% physical. And so as a freshman, as we all really remember, the COVID-19 pandemic impacted us heavily. So as I arrived home and got back on campus, I soon realized that freshmen need a voice. They not only need to know that they are heard on campus, they need help knowing how to feel their body, how to be mentally healthy, and truthfully, how to determine what a healthy balance is between self-isolation and community. So throughout my platform, my slogan is Get Up with Grote, and I'm honestly determined throughout this week to let each student and anyone in the Auburn family know who they get up for in the morning, because when we are setting these goals and living for something bigger than ourselves, we're able to achieve far much more. So throughout this week, we're going to be promoting 3 platform points: go, grow, and gather. So go is going into the community that we're blessed to be placed in. This university provides ample opportunities that each of us are so tangible to. And so I really want to promote those so that students have the access to be achieving their goals. The second one is grow. This is where the vital implementation of knowing yourself first so that you are able to achieve the goals that you do set. So I want each of you to know who you get up for, and I hope that it's something bigger than yourself so that you are able to be successful on campus. And then the last point is gather. I want each of us as the Auburn family to gather together and run a 5K. You don't have to run, you can walk, completely up to you, but you're going to be walking or running for something bigger than yourself. So on your bib number, you'll be able to write in who you're running, who you're walking for, and who you get up for. Whether that's your grandmother, your sister, or the Auburn family, I hope that this week you guys get up and really get to know who you get up for every day. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Olivia Balliette, and I'm so honored to be one of your candidates for Miss Auburn this year and to have the opportunity to stand on this stage with these amazing women. My platform is centered on the Creed stanza, I believe in the human touch, which cultivates sympathy with my fellow men and mutual helpfulness and brings happiness for all. This week, I'm focusing on mentorship, specifically between students. Auburn has so much to offer beyond the classroom with many chances to grow through the different activities and organizations available to us. However, I know for many new students, it can seem overwhelming learning about all these opportunities, and getting involved can be intimidating, as I know it was for me when I was a freshman. I've been so fortunate since then to have had upperclassmen who took an active interest in offering me advice and support and encouraging me to get involved. This mentorship has shaped my Auburn experience and opened up so many opportunities I never thought would have been possible. One of my focuses this week is on current opportunities on Auburn's campus to participate in mentorship, whether that's through peer mentorship programs in the different colleges or other involvement opportunities such as becoming a Camp War Eagle counselor, a peer instructor, a wing for the Eagles program, and so many more. Mentorship comes in so many different forms and is something that every student can participate in and benefit from. In the role of Miss Auburn, I would work to create more platforms like these that allow underclassmen to connect with older students involved in areas of campus they're interested in. And my hope through this is to increase the knowledge and accessibility of all different campus organizations. Learning this value of mentorship will not only benefit us during our time at Auburn, but also beyond as we seek people to guide us in our careers, faith, family, and lives. By living out the Creed value of mutual helpfulness on campus, I know that every member of the Auburn family can help support each other in reaching beyond what is possible on our own. I'm so grateful to everyone in the Auburn community who has served as a mentor in my life and shaped me into the person I am standing before you today. I can't wait to share more about my platform and love for Auburn over the next week, and I hope you all will join me in reaching beyond with Balliette.
Hey y'all, my name is Kyla Mathner, and once again, I am so thrilled and truly so honored to be up here today with these 4 other amazing ladies running for Miss Auburn. My platform is centered around the line of the Creed that says, I believe in a sound mind, in a sound body, in a spirit that is not afraid. For me, this takes me back to my time as a freshman at Auburn, which by that point I had been struggling with disordered eating for several years. And I can honestly say that if it weren't for Auburn Student Counseling and Psychological Services, that's a mouthful, SCPS, that I don't know if I would have ever been able to set aside my pride and really gather the courage and the strength that I needed to finally seek professional help. So with this amazing opportunity to spread a platform across campus and to share such a big piece of my heart with all of the Auburn student body, I really want to focus on putting an emphasis on and raising awareness for Auburn SCPS while also advocating for the expansion and the improvement of it. So I'm going to read a few statistics from the Mayo Clinic that specifically pertain to college students and mental health. Up to 44% of college students reported having symptoms of depression and anxiety. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death for college students. 30% of students reported feeling depressed in the past year. Half of students reported feeling overwhelmingly anxious in the past year. And up to 75% of struggling students are reluctant to seek help. So as I hear these statistics, and as I have heard many students not initiating the process or even following through with the process of seeking help with Auburn Student Counseling and Psychological Services because appointment times are too long, or because maybe they did utilize the service, but it wasn't quite the experience that they were looking for, or because they just know they're limited in their amount of free sessions as a student, I think it's very clear that this is not only a pertinent, but a pressing issue that our student body and many other student bodies across America are facing. And so I know that we can all agree that every single member of the Auburn family deserves not just a chance to seek professional help, but a substantial one at that. So shining a spotlight on all of these areas of improvements would be incredibly beneficial for this campus and this community. I hope that you not only hear You Matter with Mathner this week, but you can feel it as we work tirelessly to relay this message and this mission for every single student at Auburn. War Eagle, and thank you.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Ann Earthen, and I have the absolute privilege to run for Miss Auburn this week. My line of the creed that I will be running off of is that I believe in the human touch, which cultivates sympathy for my fellow man, mutual helpfulness, and happiness for all. This was an obvious choice of creed and platform for me because of the impact of the human touch on my time at Auburn. The Auburn family, I know, is why we all love Auburn so much, and the impact of the community here is what makes our time here so special. Because of this, I think the best way to love someone is by giving them the practical resources they need to individually succeed and feel empowered in who they are as a member of the Auburn family. Through this, our word for the week is accessibility. Through emotional accessibility, we will be focusing on mental health initiatives, continue mentorship programs, and also just fostering vulnerable conversations on the concourse. I know it's always so fun on the way from class to class to see your friends on the Haley concourse and ask how they are, but this week we really want to make that how you are, how really are you? Our second branch of accessibility is physical accessibility. And I'd love to tell y'all a little story about why this is so personal to me and why I am so passionate about physical accessibility. So when I arrived at Auburn freshman year out of state, I met one of my absolute best friends who actually had a cochlear implant. And through this time in my life, my dad was starting the cochlear implant process. And so they really got to know each other, and her mom was sharing information with my dad about what the process looked like. But while this was going on, she actually was struggling academically through her first semester because she didn't have the resources she needed to thrive in the classroom. So second semester, she found the Office of Accessibility, and now she has been on the Dean's List for 4 semesters. I want to give all students at Auburn the opportunities and accessibility like my friend. Because of this, we will be focusing on tangible changes for students with handicap disabilities and also providing more resources for students with hearing disabilities. My slogan is Down to Earth Men, and this started as a play on words and honestly kind of a joke, but has become really encapsulating of my entire platform. Down to earth means practical. We're looking for practical changes on Auburn's campus while focusing on the fellow man. I really hope you join us on the concourse this week, and I look forward to meeting so many of you. War Eagle.
Thank you to our Miss Auburn candidates for sharing your platforms. Will the treasurer candidate please make your way to the stage?
How's it going?
You may now begin with your opening statement.
Hi everyone, my name is Jake Darling. I'm running to be the next SGA treasurer. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to do this. I'm so fortunate to have this opportunity. I want to talk a little bit about my platform, Dollars with Darling. So the 2 main focuses are going to be the better promotion of the existing financial resources on Auburn's campus and also increasing accessibility to financial knowledge to the general student body. So talking about the promotional aspect, Auburn has a lot of great resources, things like the AU10 program, Cash Course, our partnership with Regions, all these amazing things have been built up over the past couple of years. They really aren't being utilized to the best of their capabilities in my eyes. And so I hope to better promote these things and increase their usage amongst the student body. Secondly, it's going to be accessibility to financial knowledge. Financial knowledge is not something that's hard to find when you seek it out. So I hope to try to be able to bring it to the student body and make it easier to find through times on the concourse or through small seminars.
Awesome. The SGA Treasurer supports the Senate's Budget and Finance Committee in allocating student activity fees to student organizations across campus. How would you promote equity and inclusion in this process and in the use of these funds?
I think a lot of it's going to be through conversations. So those budgets and that money goes all over the place. And so having communications and open lines of conversation with the people who that money's going to and they're making these decisions are going to help make that process much more equitable and even for all people who are involved in the process.
Recent years have placed unprecedented financial burdens on many Auburn students. Beyond financial literacy programs, how would you work to support or advocate for students' financial well-being?
Yeah, so funny story about so scholarship deadline is today. So the Auburn scholarship deadline is today, and what I found is that not everyone knows the deadline's today or even what time it is. So promoting things like scholarships to the general student body, making that more well-known throughout the entire populace can make it much more I guess make it much easier on the student body to continue to attend Auburn, especially in these financially difficult times for many students.
Last question. SGA's sponsorship of the Auburn Ring program is important for generating revenue that enhances student programs. How would you work with Balfour to enhance this program for the benefit of Auburn students?
Yeah, so the current AVP of Balfour, Ehlers Sharp, has done an amazing job building up this program, and I aspire to be able to keep building this program after she's done with it. And so working with, the people who run this program, I'm sorry, can you tell the question again? I apologize.
Yes, so it's about how would you work with Balfour to enhance the Auburn Ring program for the benefit of Auburn students?
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, a lot of the proceeds from Balfour end up going to scholarships. And so these scholarships help the student body greatly. And so I'd want to continue that program and make sure that stays and it continues. And that would generate more revenue for the student body and it'll make scholarships more accessible and make them more available.
Perfect. Now you'll have a minute for your closing remark.
So I went over my platform in the opening statements. Really appreciate y'all having the opportunity to have me up here. I know it's a little bit of an interesting situation to be able to run uncontested, but I want you all to know that I'm here for all of you. And if you ever want to talk to me about whether that be finances, whether that be just talk to someone in SGA, I'm here for all of you. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. War Eagle, thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Next, we will hear from our vice presidential candidates. You may now enter the stage. You may now begin with your opening statement.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Coleman Turnipseed, and I have the privilege to run to be your next SGA Vice President. Over my time in SGA, I've had the opportunity to serve in both the SGA Cabinet and the Student Senate, which I believe has given me a unique and qualified perspective in order to be your next Vice President. I have the legislative knowledge and experience in order to serve SGA Senate well, and I want to promote and advocate for every single one of you. My platform focuses on productivity, advocacy, and transparency, and I want to utilize my time as Vice President in order to fight for the needs of every single person on Auburn's campus.
War Eagle. My name is Brandon Belser, and I'm running to be your next SGA Vice President. My campaign, Bold, Bright, Belser, is about advocating for a bold and bright future for Auburn University. My 3 points focus on things that I learned as a senator. So the first one is going to be the bold point. It is about our military students. As somebody from a military background myself, and as somebody who's lost a member of my family in the line of duty serving the U.S. military, I think it's necessary that we help focus on these students that make us the mission for us to live out the creed possible. The first point is that, and you may not all know this, but every single military veteran student has to go all the way to Tuskegee every time they need health care. So I want to work to change that by working to create a special fund that allows them to be able to go and have access to the stuff that they need. My second point is the bright point. It's about our graduate students. These students our education would not be possible without these students. So I want to help make it possible for them to get everything that they need to be successful. Thank you.
First question for y'all. So if Senate were to pass only one piece of legislation in your potential term as Vice President, what would you want it to be, and how would it benefit the Auburn student body?
Starting with me?
Yeah, starting with you.
If I had to pass one piece of legislation in the SJ Senate next year, it would be a resolution focused on student safety. Safety is a really crucial issue facing Auburn students, and without safety, no one can focus on any other thing. Something I learned in my class last year was Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And in order for people to focus on other needs, and in order for us to meet the needs, safety has to come first. People need to feel safe both on and off campus, and I want to work with the Student Senate in order to pass a resolution promoting student safety and advocating the resources that Auburn has.
Thank you. Brandon, you'll now have 45 seconds for a rebuttal.
Awesome. If I could pass one piece of legislation, it would be a resolution showing students how to advocate for funding expansion. $2,766,000 is the amount of money that the Student Senate allocated in the fiscal year that we're currently in. Not many students know that, and not many students are available to those funds, even though they all pay into them. So passing a resolution that would allow every single student to know about the work that we do in Student Senate and to actually feel like they're advocated for would be the piece of legislation I would pass, because that would help create a bold and bright Auburn. Thanks.
Second question, starting with Brandon. How can the Student Senate actively make the student experience at Auburn more equitable and inclusive, and what are tangible ways you plan to ensure this?
Absolutely. So this is what I spent my entire term working on, is the Diversity, Inclusion, Equity Committee Chair. As a senator, I work to make sure that every single student is heard, and I actually wrote 2 different pieces of legislation to make sure that that's possible. The first one is liaisons. I started as liaison myself for the Black Student Union, and that allows any organization that's underrepresented in the Student Senate to have a non-voting membership position that allows them to come every single week, observe, see what SGA is about, and get to transmit what happens in their organization to the student body. The second piece of legislation that I wrote as a senator is special committees. That allows any student to create a committee related to any issue, whether it be sexual assault, grad students, Veterans Affairs, you name it. And that'll really help change Auburn in the future, because it'll allow any type of student, any student from any place, to come to Student Senate and truly have a voice to speak up and advocate for the issues that are important to them.
Coleman, you'll now have 45 seconds for a rebuttal.
Thank you. In my role as Vice President, I believe that promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion is one of the most important. In my role as Vice President, I want to expand the efforts of DEI and transform the way that we have committee structures by placing a DEI representative on each of the standing committees. I'm here to listen and advocate. Although I cannot relate to every single person with a diverse, equitable, or inclusive background, I'm here to advocate for each and every student and listen to their desires. The special committee's piece of legislation was passed last night, and I believe will be a useful tool for future Senate to come and to be able to effectively advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Awesome. Third question, starting with you, Coleman. With a new university administration, what specific actions will you take to ensure that Student Senate is a respected voice of the student body?
So my entire platform is focused on productivity, advocacy, and transparency. My platform's not up here giving a bunch of bold ideas and promises that I can't necessarily keep. My entire platform is focused on the Student Senate and ensuring that we are being able to effectively listen and advocate for students. I want to ensure that the projects that we finish are coming to fruition, and to ensure that our voice is not being silenced, and that everyone on Auburn's campus is able to have a voice by those 34 senators who are representing them. As Vice President, it's not my role to speak during Senate. It's not my role to make decisions of what happens in the Student Senate, but it's my role to advocate for what every one of you want. And it's my role to advocate that to administration. Being able to effectively listen to the needs and the concerns of the student body and relaying those to the administration, I believe, is crucial in my role as Vice President, and that is one of the biggest goals I have of this year.
Brandon, you'll now have 45 seconds.
Thank you. As Auburn gets its 21st university president, I think it's really important to focus on the fact that we have to make action. And the action that we can make will be possible because of special committee legislation that I personally authored by myself. That legislation will allow me on my very first day as your vice president to create the special committees that I've been talking about. These aren't fanciful ideas. These aren't boisterous. These are things that are possible, and these are things that the students need. They will get them as soon as I'm in office, and they'll help us transmit the voice of the students directly to our new university president and new administration that come along with it. Thank you.
Last question, starting with you, Brandon. How do you plan to ensure that student senators connect with their constituents consistently and carry out their duties responsibly?
Absolutely. So another point that I hope to create is mandatory town halls where every single student senator will have to partner with their school's council to hold town halls in their college every other week. This will make it possible that students can feel that they're directly heard and that their issues are transmitted. As well, making sure that every single senator sponsors an email list between their colleges and the senators will help ensure that every time we have pieces of legislation, whether or not they're related to the college, they'll actually be voted on with the authority of the student voice in mind.
And now 45 seconds for rebuttal, Coleman.
So in order to assure that the senators are connecting consistently with their constituents, I want to expand Auburn Answers to create a place where students can directly lobby to their senators. Working in Washington, D.C. this summer, I was able to experience and understand better about the lobbying world, and I want students to be able to directly, through Auburn Answers, write to their senators and work with them on projects from start to finish.
You'll now each have 1 minute for your closing remarks, starting with you, Coleman.
I really just want to say thank you all so much for having us up here tonight. This week is going to be very, very exciting, and I'm really excited to share my platform with all of y'all. My platform is all about the students at the end of the day, and I want to be here to listen to whatever need or concern any of you have. I want to be here, and I want to be able to meet the need of every single Auburn student's campus-wide.
Brandon?
As we embark on the 100th year of SGA, it's time for us to stop enforcing the status quo. It's time for a bold and bright future, a bold and bright vision, and that'll be possible because of me being your SGA Vice President. I really want to ensure that every single student feels like their voice is heard, and my experience as a Camp War Eagle counselor, student senator, committee chair, and plainsman has given me a lot of different experiences all across the Auburn family to hear a lot of different voices and a chance to make sure I expand a lot of different voices. I want to ensure that this isn't a position just for me, but for every single member of the Auburn family. Thank you.
Thank you both. You may now step down from the stage. The last part of this evening will include hearing from your presidential candidates. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage. You'll each be able to begin with a 1 minute opening remark, and you may now begin.
Hey guys, my name is Joshua Qualbaum, and I'm honored to stand up here before you today. My platform is all about putting in hard work for the Auburn family. My slogan is full throttle with Quaddle, and I like to begin with kind of how I came up with this, or how I didn't even come up with it. It originally came as a joke. I was talking to a friend a few months back. I was like, all right, I gotta come up with a slogan, you know, like probably something with my last name, Quality maybe, something like that. That's what I used for a business. I went with full throttle with Quaddle. And it's all about putting in hard work and passion. That's what I have to give to the Auburn family. And that's what I've given to every organization I've led and my company. Thank you.
John David?
War Eagle, I just want to say thank you all for coming, and it really shows how much you care about Auburn and the future of Auburn by showing up, and that's also to you watching on Eagle Eye. My platform is based on the spirit of Auburn, and that spirit of one that is not afraid. I believe that I am well equipped to promote the student voice, and I think that I am ready to be your SGA president and ready to fulfill that position.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Jake Haston, and I have the honor of running for SGA president this year. I firmly believe that Auburn already offers one of the best student experiences in the country, and the goal of my campaign is to make it even better. If elected, I promise to work tirelessly to help give y'all the best Auburn experience as possible. My platform consists of 4 key areas: social advancement, student life, SGA changes, and academics. I'm confident that through the points outlined in my platform, we can make the changes necessary to continue Auburn's historic tradition of excellence. Thank you.
For the first question, what do you believe are some of the most significant issues Auburn students will face in the coming year, and how do you plan to specifically address them?
So I think 3 specific issues that Auburn faces today is obviously COVID. I mean, we're still trying to navigate outside of that, dealing with the masks and everything like that. So just maintaining that positive health. I think another big issue is communication. A lot of people don't know what SGA does, or they don't know what we can do. Like I'll go to a visit and someone will say, can we get salt on the tables in the dining hall? And like, that is something that I think we could advocate for, like minimal things like that. So the three biggest issues I think that face Auburn today is navigating out of COVID, improving communication, like drastically, and wellness. I think that's such an important thing in today's society. We all talk about mental health, physical health, intellectual health, social health. I think all of these things could be talked about even more and presented in a huge event for just wellness. Thank you.
John David, you'll have 45 seconds for rebuttal.
The three biggest points facing Auburn students this year are health and well-being, safety and inclusion, and the student experience. In health and well-being, we've been fighting COVID for 2 years, and that has taken a toll on everyone, but especially college students who have left their home for usually the first time and trying to become adults. I think advocating for more online health appointments will be a great success for students and help them tremendously.
One big issue I see facing college students today is making college more affordable. It's expensive to go to college today, whether that's in-state or out of state. And one way I intend to address this is by making more loanable technology options available on campus. For example, the next time your class requires an expensive calculator or a computer, you might not always have to buy one. This way you'd be able to check one out from your college or school whenever you needed it, as opposed to paying for an expensive piece of technology you may only ever use once.
John David, second question is to you. How would you advocate for the student voice in a situation where university administration has a different opinion than students?
Well, first, I think that is great that there's a difference in opinions. That means that students' voice is being heard and is being taken to administrators. So I think that is a great example of us as SGA going out to students, grabbing that feedback, and taking it to administrators. And then secondly, I think that's great that administrators are pushing back because they are well equipped and have multiple years of experience on what to decide for the most cost-effective and most beneficial decision. So I think us taking that feedback to administrators while talking to them and coming to a decision that is both cost-efficient and beneficial for all students is one thing that I think would be great.
Jake, you'll have 45 seconds for rebuttal.
In my meetings with administrators leading up to running for SGA president, one thing became very clear. Administrators and Board of Trustee members here at Auburn truly care about the student opinion and the student voice. Therefore, I believe that it would be my job as SGA president, if elected, to act as the intermediary between the two. It would be my job to bring the two opinions to the table and try to find a compromise.
So I actually really love Jake's point about how, the administration truly cares about us. With my experience running a business in Auburn and even associating with administration, trying to get some business from them, I've truly realized that they do.
Oh, is it? Stop. No. You're going to be taking notes, right? Yes. It's on you. So remember, turn that in, switching 1 to 2. There we go. Like, touch that spot right. Good. I think those are really good. How bad is the delay switch right up from the bottom? Oh. She said she switched right up from the bottom. She's been freaking out this whole time. It's like, yeah. Or maybe that was the really right. With the university. Exactly. So none of them said. I know. I think it was going up there. It could be waiting until like even 11.
And then even 11:15, even 11:30.
That's his doing from last year. I went out before Pearl.
Welcome to the 2022 Spring Elections Callouts. My name is Mary Kate Hillis, and I've had the pleasure of serving as the Executive Director of Elections this year. First of all, I want to thank all of the candidates for running safe campaigns this year. We will announce our e-council before announcing our minor candidate races. If a college or school is not announced, that race was uncontested and is vacant. If you're interested in filling that position, please contact the SGA President-elect.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Kelly Moore, and I have the pleasure of serving as this year's Director of Elections.
My name is Arnav Mathur, and I'm also on Elections Council this year.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Leah Drake, and I'm a member of Elections Council.
War Eagle, Eagle, y'all. My name is Liz Mitchum, and I serve on Elections Council.
War Eagle, y'all. My name's Annie Dodd, and I serve on Elections Council.
Hey, y'all. My name's Lexi Altima, and I serve on Elections Council.
Hey, y'all. I'm Sarah Mark Curry, and I have the privilege of serving on Elections Council.
War Eagle, my name's Jack O'Brien, and I serve on Elections Council.
Okay, so starting off, the agriculture president, Abigail Lane. The agriculture vice president, Garrett Springs. And the agriculture senator, Luker Davidson.
The CADC president is Travis Hamilton. The CADC vice president is Andrew Schmidt. And the CADC senator is Gunnar Smith.
The College of Business president is Cameron Lane. College of Business vice president, Jeremiah Sachs. And the College of Business senators, Lucy Brown, Andrew Sadie, Andrew Dickinson, Thomas Treadwell, Julianne Lozano, and Nick Seward.
The College of Education senator is Francis Wheeler. The College of Engineering president is Adetola Kooki. The College of Engineering vice president is Zandy Dunn. The College of Engineering senators are Chloe Grace Cochran, Emma Kate Seckinger, Javen Justin, Ebb Counts, Fox Harris, and Ethan Wavera.
The College of Forestry and Wildlife Vice President, Aaron Olive. Your Senator for Graduate School, Olamide Duradola.
College of Human Sciences president, Meryl Ann Culverhouse. College of Human Sciences senator, Sydney Williams.
College of Liberal Arts President, Isabella Weyerman. College of Liberal Arts Vice President, Joanne Kim. College of Liberal Arts Senators, Gracie Veronico. Casey Rickles. Grant Gilmer. And Jonathan Smith.
Your pharmacy president is Ashley Nees. Pharmacy Pharmacy Vice President is Andrea Nichols. Pharmacy Senator is Maddie Northington.
College of Science and Mathematics President is Hannah Kelly. The COSAM Vice President, Archie Landrum. COSAM Senators, Kara Herring. Artie Nyack.
The at-large senators, Lucy Alford, Madeline Dodd, John David Jones, Ryan Hall, and Warren Johnston. The final lecture, Professor Award, goes to Matthew Curley.
Congratulations to all of the minor candidates. We will now announce the major candidate races. If your name is called, please come up these steps and await further instructions. First, Miss Auburn. Ann Earthman.
Your next SGA treasurer is Jake Darling. Your next SGA vice president is Coleman Turnipseed.
And last but not least, your 2022 SGA president is Jake Haston.
Welcome back to your SGA election coverage. Let's take a look back at the debate from last Tuesday as we wait for election results. We go now. We go now to Cater Hall, where Eagle Eye's on-scene reporter Blake Phillips will be interviewing tonight's winners along with the SGA Executive Director of Electives.
My name is Blake Phillips with Eagle Eye TV, and I'm joined now with the Executive Director of Elections, Mary Kate Hillis. Mary Kate, how are you feeling after the elections just concluded?
I'm very cold, but very proud of every single one of our candidates, and really glad that election week is over.
It's a hectic week indeed. Now, for the audience that doesn't know about the SGA Elections Board, tell us about your position and who you are with regards to SGA.
Yeah, so I serve as the Executive Director of Elections. That kind of means that I serve all roles overseeing elections, administrative, the judicial side of it, serving over the Elections Board. I'm really just here to make sure that the elections run fairly, but also serve as a resource for all of the candidates, and making sure that, you know, their campaigns can run smoothly and in accordance with the Code of Laws.
All right, and now it has been a long campaign week. We know that much. Walk us through what your campaign week looked like.
So really, the elections team campaign week is kind of quiet, which sounds crazy. A lot of our work is done in the weeks and months before. It's checking candidates' materials, double checking their budgets, you know, contemplating whether teal and light blue are too similar, that type of thing. But really this week, it's just kind of letting the candidates really enjoy their time out on the concourse, and of course, hearing any violations that come into Elections Board.
And we all know last year's election had a bit of a different format with the COVID-19 pandemic. This was more of a standard year. How different was this year's election when compared to last year's?
I think a lot of candidates' favorite part about the elections process is the human touch aspect of it. A lot of candidates, I think their saddest part of last year's elections were not being able to reach out to the students that they would potentially serve. I know they're all so excited. But yeah, they really wanted last year to be able to reach out to the students that they would serve in their potential positions. And so really the feedback I got this year was that getting able to be back on the concourse and meeting those students and getting to hear their stories was really, really important to them.
Well, you kind of already answered my next question is how did you take stuff from last year and apply it to this year's election? The concourse, obviously, it's a great thing to be back in election week. Was there anything else that you took from last year's COVID election to this year's more standard one?
Yeah, I think a lot of the things, as I'm sure with anything during COVID, we realized can happen in a different way. I think social media is really being used as an important aspect in a different way. Also, there are some changes to the concourse about, you know, things that they could give out, activities that they could do, but I think we were able to really make a good blend of it.
Certainly, and now shifting our focus to the election day as a whole, what steps do you guys take to ensure a fair election for all candidates?
Yeah, so voting day was today from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so on my aspect of it, I kind of make sure, you know, that the voting system is running correctly and that everybody's able to vote as they please, but also just responding to any violations. We respond to any and all violation the same. It goes through the same exact process, and so we're just kind of here as a resource for both different campaigns if they see something that's troubling them, or just the average student who's not connected at all. And we're really there to be able to kind of make this process enjoyable for all the students at Auburn.
And speaking on those violations, are there any common ones that you could drop for the viewer that doesn't know what SGA elections are like?
Yes. So actually you talked about previous years. So in previous years, you were able to bring dogs on campus as part of your campaign. This year we were no longer able to do that, but in past years, you're not allowed to put any campaign material on a moving object other than a human. And so people were putting, you know, campaign t-shirts on their little cute golden retriever. So we always get things like that. A lot of the times there is the aspect of, you know, campaigners being a little too overzealous when they're garnering votes on campaign day or on voting day, but that's something that I've really tried to work towards, and I hope that paid off this year, of making sure that candidates and their staff were able to reach those people, but in a safe and respectful manner.
Certainly. Were there any violations that affected the results of the elections?
There were violations that did have an impact on the vote tally. It did not have an impact on the results of the races, but there were some votes that did have to be taken away.
All right, and speaking of those results, I know you have them for us here, the official numbers of this year's SGA elections. Mary Kate, go ahead and share them.
So starting off with our SGA treasurer, Jake Darling, He won 100% of the vote because he was unopposed.
Makes sense.
For SGA Vice President, Coleman Turnipseed won 67.53% of the vote with 5,113 votes in total. For SGA President, Jake Haston won 52.61% of the vote with 4,037 votes in total. And then if I can find it.
There are a lot of numbers on those papers, a lot of elections to keep track of.
Our Miss Auburn winner, Ann Earthman, won 35.66% of the vote with 2,977 votes in total.
All right, and there you have it. Despite the wins, best efforts, we have those official numbers for you. And as we close out this interview, do you have anything to just end this week on? A great week of SGA elections.
Yeah, kind of like I said earlier, I think that my favorite part of SGA elections is that these people that are being elected will now be able to serve all of Auburn's campus and every single student. And whether or not you voted for that candidate that did end up winning, I think that they are a really great resource in the future. Whether you have an initiative you would like to see or whether you just need kind of someone to hear your thoughts about anything happening on campus. And so my favorite part is really getting to see the average students on campus who may not be involved in any organizations or may have never heard of SGA or Miss Auburn, really able to kind of help these candidates make an impact on Auburn's campus.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. Mary Kate Hillis, the Executive Director of SGA Elections. Now, stay tuned. We have more interviews coming up with the winners of the major elections. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Mary Kate.
You're good. I can't feel any of my body.
No, I cannot either.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Blake.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet
a
you
little
too.
hoarse, but I'll do my best.
That's all right.
Oh.
I'm good, yeah. Yes, sir. The big one.
Hey. So let me see if I can get this one clipped.
All right.
Can you hold that real quick?
Yes, I can. All right. Hold it about chest level.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
And you should be good. Just basic questions.
Okay.
Nothing to be worried about. I'm not going to grill you.
Should I look at you or should I look at the light?
If you're addressing more of like your voters, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
look at the camera. But if
Okay.
you're answering the question
Look at
to
you.
me directly, look at me. And welcome back. Now I have the SGA President-elect, Jake Haston. Congratulations. First of all, Jake, how are you feeling after hearing your name called out?
I think the only word that could describe how I feel right now is grateful. I had a lot of amazing people that helped me get here. This was by no means my doing. It was some amazing people down there that got me here.
Certainly. And how long have you been campaigning for this position? I mean, this is the biggest position you can hold in the SGA. So how do you feel, or how long have you been campaigning for this?
Well, it's something that I've thought about for a long time. It's definitely something that I didn't think I'd be capable of, but kind of great, thanks to a lot of great mentors over the past couple of years, they kind of instilled the confidence in me that I can do this, and it's something I've been kind of thinking about since last semester. So I'm just super honored to be able to have this position.
Definitely. And now, where do you go from here? What are your first steps of being elected?
My first steps are to get to work. I'm super grateful to everybody that voted for me and everybody that trusted me to be able to hold this position and advocate for the students, but now I've got to follow through on everything I talked about, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I will work as hard as I can for the Auburn students.
All right, well, congratulations once more.
Thank you so much.
Go celebrate. You certainly earned it.
I appreciate it.
We'll be right back with some more interviews with the major election winners. So hold the microphone about chest level.
Okay.
And no tough questions. These are just basic.
I don't think I'm going to give you really great answers. I don't really have words to describe how I feel right now, so.
That's all right. Most people do not. All right, welcome back. We now have the SGA Vice President-elect, Coleman Turnipseed. Coleman, how are you feeling? What was it like hearing your name being called out?
Overwhelming. But it was one of the greatest moments I've had at Auburn, and it's a memory I'll forever cherish. It was a long week. It was a tough week, but we made it through, and I'm really, really thankful for my team and for everyone who supported me throughout this week. And really, words can't describe how I feel right now. It kind of feels like a dream.
Well, what does it mean to you to get to this point and have all those people out there cheering as soon as your name, like they didn't even wait for the last name. As soon as they heard Coleman, the cheers are up to it. How does that feel?
It's, again, it's an overwhelming experience to feel so loved by so many people. And to see how many people supported me throughout this week and who have supported me throughout this entire journey, it's crazy. But, that was the best feeling in the world. It really was.
All right, and now what's next for the new SGA Vice President?
I guess we got to do the job.
All right. I like that. It's been a common trend between the election winners tonight. Get to work. Well, Coleman, thank you so much for joining me, and go celebrate. You've earned it.
War Eagle. Thank you.
War Eagle. Too many hard questions for you.
Got you. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Blake.
Blake, nice to meet you.
Wait for the cheers.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting.
They can hear you. All right, and now I have the SGA Treasurer-elect with me, Jake Darling. Jake, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I got to be totally honest. It is an incredible feeling. It's one that I really didn't expect it to be this great, and I am over the moon right now.
I don't blame you. Well, despite an uncontested race, you were still out there on the concourse campaigning this week. What was your focus rather than beating an opponent for your campaign?
So my focus was twofold. One was to educate students on my platform, and secondly, to show them that I'm a representative of the student body. And yes, I am uncontested, and I understand kind of the position that puts me in, and I want them to know that I'm still a representative for the students, uncontested or not, and I'm here for them.
All right, and to the students that did elect you this week, talk to them about what the treasurer position does. You and I had a chat about that on the concourse this week, so tell them what you told me.
We had a quick chat, and so a very basic summary is that it oversees the SGA budget. So it makes sure the line items all balanced, it makes sure money's going to the right places, it makes sure everyone's getting what they need to get.
All right, well, now last but not least, what's the first step for the new treasurer-elect?
I got to see what the people want, because I know I've got my ideas, but I want to make sure I'm making the right choices that the people want. So that's my main goal.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jake, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
Really appreciate it.
I'm Blake.
And nice to meet you.
You too. All right, so hold about chest level.
Okay.
And I don't have any hard questions for you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, now I have with me the new Miss Auburn, Ann Earthman. Ann, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Absolutely in shock, but I could not be any more honored. I'm so excited.
What was it like hearing your name called? The cheers erupted as soon as they heard Ann.
Yes, no, absolutely in shock, but I'm just so excited to be surrounded by a community that was down there with me, and really the true embodiment of the Auburn family down there.
And how long have you been campaigning or even just thinking about being elected Miss Auburn?
Honestly, top 5 call-outs. I was pretty shocked, but I'm just really excited to be here, and I know that I've always looked up to Miss Auburn as the true embodiment of an Auburn woman, and so I think, ever since I stepped on campus, I've looked up to that role, but I never really imagined I could be this role, so I'm just very thankful.
Of course.
Yes.
And now, what's the first step for new Miss Auburn?
I'd honestly just start meeting some people, and really get an action plan in place to see what this next year will look like and set some goals and just really get excited, and also thank everyone on my campaign.
Yes. You guys were out there a long time on the concourse to get to this point.
Definitely.
So now all the people that supported you, they were behind you this entire time. This one's a question for them. Just what do you have to say to your supporters?
Thank y'all so much. I could not have done this without every single one of y'all. And this is truly just the biggest blessing ever. So thank you is all I have to say.
All right, well, congratulations. Go celebrate. You've earned it.
Thank you. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
I appreciate it.
Of course. And now we're going to go back to the desk to talk about what we have seen here tonight and to close out the show. Thank you so much for listening to the interviews. My name was Blake Phillips with Eagle Eye TV.
Thank you, Blake. That's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure to stay up to date on all the Auburn news by following us on social media at Eagle Eye TV and check out our website at eagleeyeauburn.com. Thanks for tuning in to Eagle Eye TV's SGA election coverage. I'm Jack Greenwald.
And I'm Ainsley Ehlers. Good night and War Eagle.